Well, hey everybody. Um, so I'm on the Beartooth Parkway or Highway, scenic route, and the thing about the Beartooth is it climbs up to about 11,000 feet, and it's one of the highest roads in United States, and some people say it's one of the most scenic. Some terrific views. It's just outside of Yellowstone National Park, which I took the beginning, took the northern route on the Grand Loop and came through Cook City. But anyway, I got this site at a Forest Service campground for $10. Um, there's Cody. I have a picnic table, a bear box. Pretty secluded. I have a fire ring, but I don't have firewood. I just cut up some small. I'll just probably make a small fire. But anyway, It's 5 o'clock, so I made my cocktail. Cheers. And I cut up vegetables. I'm gonna make another one of my famous stir fries. I have a little beef, but not much, so I'll mix it all up. I'm not really that hungry. I had a huckleberry um, milkshake for lunch, um, and that kind of filled me up. So I'll wait a little bit. It's only about 5 o'clock, but what a beautiful sight. I don't know if there's a creek down there, but the thing I did see is that there is a grizzly bear who frequents this area. This is bear country. That's why to have a bear box. There's warning on the table not to leave anything out. And they had a picture on the sign in that the picture of the grizzly that visits the area. And then someone just told me last week they saw a sow and two cubs. So that's where you got to watch, especially with cubs around. The grizzlies become protective, and they're big anyway. So I have my bear spray, and I don't do anything stupid. So, but you never know. So you're in the wilderness here. This is one of the most remote roads and through the mountains, and it's just really beautiful. So this campground is in the beginning of it, so I'm going to take my time tomorrow and stop at the scenic overlooks and maybe do a hike or two, short hike with my knee. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to do, but I'll do some. Um, I've always wanted to do the Beartooth, so this is cool that I'm able to do it. And I also have an app called Guide Along, and I've turned some people onto this. It's an app you download, and you can buy a tour, or you can buy like a section of the country, or you can buy a whole bunch of tours. But there's basically it plays through your radio or through Bluetooth on your phone, and it knows your GPS section. So like when I rode through Yellowstone, I had a guide, and they tell you the geology. They tell you about. He was telling us about the wolves. He's telling me about the wolves and about the bison and the park, and so you get a little information on the geology, the native folks, people that lived here, um, the animals, the park itself, why some of the things are named the way they are, things like that. So it's really cool. It's like having a guide. I mean, that's why it's named Guide Along. It used to have another name. I can't remember when it started, when I first got it. But I did the whole U.S. West. I got all the tours, and it's like a package deal, so you get it cheaper. It's not that expensive, and to me, it's well worth it. This is like my third or fourth time through Yellowstone, and it's probably my most favorite national park. Of course, it's the granddaddy of all national parks, the first one, and it's really spectacular. There's nothing else like it, probably in the world. Um, but anyway, it's cool. I really enjoyed the ride through. So it was like 2 o'clock, and I said, you know what, I'm going to stop at the first campground, which this is Soda Butte Campground on the Beartooth. So it is Custer Gallatin National Forest. So it's not in the park, it's outside the park. It's a national forest, and this is a national forest campground. It's $20 a night, but if you have a senior pass, it's $10. The prices seem to be a little varied, but like in the last one I stayed at, it was $8. So I'm not really sure why it's so varied, but anyway, $10 is last night at the Yellowstone campground with the hot springs. It was like $70. Now I had an electric hookup and bathroom, showers, laundry. This is just really basic. There's pit toilets down here, no electric. But I have my Bluetti lithium battery fully charged, so I could plug it into that, and if I needed to. And but I have gas, so I'm going to cook on the propane, and I'm still full powered. I'm in the sun, so that's good. I have solar, so it's all good. So I'm just going to take my time tomorrow and go through the Beartooth Highway, and then go through the rest of Montana, and then go through North Dakota. There's not much there, but I'm going to head up to Minnesota and the Upper Peninsula, I think. And that's the way I'm going to go back east. And I'm going to take my time. I'm in no rush. I can't do the hours of driving that I used to anyway, so I like to stay still for a bit. So anyway, this is, like I said, it was like 2:30 by the time I got here, and I said, you know what, that's enough, because I had gotten up at 8 and to go through the park, and I stopped a lot through the park, so a lot of animals. So I'll show you some videos and some pictures. But this should be beautiful scenery. So it's a mountain plateau, and it's, like I said, 11,000 feet. It's really spectacular. So everyone says this is one of the most beautiful highways, one of the most scenic routes. And it's definitely the most scenic route, in my opinion, outside of when you leave Yellowstone. But a lot of people don't come this way. So okay, anyway, that's an update. This is where I am. I'm just showing you the forest, but there's my fire rink, little firewood I have. I'm just going to make a small fire. After dinner, I'll play my harmonica and just kind of veg out, play music, and just chill. It's beautiful pine forest, and a lot of bugs, a lot of flies and mosquitoes. So I do have some spray on, but it doesn't seem to bother the flies, at least. They just land on you, and they love me, my sweet Italian blood, I guess. So anyway, all right, everybody. I hope I'm not boring you too much, but I wanted to let you know where I am and what's going on, and share my day and experience. But all right, to my friends and family, I hope you have a good night. And I don't know when I'm going to get this up, because I have absolutely no cell signal unless I hook up Starlink. But with these trees, I probably have a lot of obstruction. So anyway, it'll get up there when it gets up there, and you'll see it, and it'll put you to sleep, probably. All right, everybody, you take care, and remember, I'm here because you're not.
And it turns out that Clark never actually even traveled along the Clark's Fork of the Yellowstone River. The closest he came was when he saw where the river emptied into the...
Well, good morning, everybody. I think it's Friday. I camped one night in a campground, on the first campground on the Beartooth Highway, and so I struck out this morning. It's about 7:30. Struck out early, and you can see what I'm greeted with. This is part of the scenic Beartooth Highway, one of the most beautiful roads in the United States. And I don't know if this is Clark's Fork River, which William Clark never really saw it. It's a misnomer, but anyway, this is pure wilderness here. And Ernest Hemingway explored these early areas and trout fished for about 10 years. This was a big part of his life at one point. I think he wrote For Whom the Bell Tolls in Cook City and this area. Anyway, a little tidbit. I wish I got to come back here and fly fish once I learn how to fly fish. But gorgeous morning, and I'm just going to take my sweet ass time driving this beautiful road. Alright everybody, have a great day. Give you another vantage point. I'm going to take this trail down and put my head in the water. Alright, I'm taking this Crazy Creek Falls trail that was recommended on the Guide Along app. I could hear the falls. It's not a long hike. I do have my bear spray because this is bear country. Hey bear! I don't have my hiking stick, but let me try to pick up something. Oh yeah, the falls seem like they're running high, so that's good. Let's see what we see. Oh yeah. Hello! Be bear aware. Hey bear! Hey bear! I'm hiking alone, but I have no choice at that, so water's running pretty deep. Hey bear! This is true wilderness. Crazy Creek Falls on the Bear Teeth Parkway highway in Montana. No, Wyoming. Well, it's right on the border. Alright, so this is the Yellowstone Overlook, they call it. It looks into Yellowstone, which is that way. And those two peaks are actually not in the Beartooths. Those are in the Upskopskin Mountains, which I think is the word that means crow, which was the native tribe, the Crow Indians. The peak on the left is Pilot Peak, and the one on the right is Index Peak. It was also called Dog Turd Peak because that's kind of what it looks like. They don't climb those mountains because they're so rocky. I'll try to zoom in and you can see them closer. But down below, that's actually towards Yellowstone. And as you can see, I think Pilot Peak is 11,000, almost 11,500 feet. Index Peak is just slightly less. And then this over here is Jim Smith Peak. That's about 10,000. And then you got over here where the snow is Squaw Peak, and to the left is Hurricane Mesa, which is over 11,000 feet. That's like in this direction. So pretty amazing. And up here is the alpine zone. You could see that the trees are kind of stunted and there's less and less of them. You got the snow and all. And this is, I think it's called the montane zone, where most of the predators like wolves, coyote, bears, they den during the winter months. So they come up here at a higher elevation and den. So we're still probably in the subalpine, but above 10,000 feet is the alpine, and that's pretty harsh. The winds can go over 100 miles an hour and all that. But between 6 and 8, that's kind of the Goldilocks zone. That's the lush green spruce and pine and fir trees, the meadows, and that's where the predators kind of den. They don't go way up, except of course for the mountain goats. They're up there. This here is called the Cathedral Cliffs. You see that? Black Mountain is in the distance behind that. And then there's Indian and Hunter Peak back there. It's one of the largest uplifts in North America's surface, I think. So we're standing on the Beartooth Mountains, but the Absarokas Mountains is what we're looking at right here. So, all right, this is Beartooth Lake. It's one of the many alpine lakes here. You see how pristine it is. It's so pretty, but this is not the stellar one that's coming up. But sure is beautiful. You can see the cliffs up above. Alright, here I'm at another lake, the next lake on Beartooth Highway, and this is called Island Lake. And you can see the mountains here around it have snow still on them because we're at even a higher elevation. But big grizzly bear area. And you can see how clean and pristine this lake is. Love to come back here with my son and Matthew and fish someday, maybe, hopefully. So quiet. All right, I'm across the parking lot from the highest spot on Beartooth. I ran into a nice couple, Bob and Trish from Bend, Oregon, and they told me a secret that they didn't want to share with a lot of people because they didn't want to disturb this, but they said if you take this route that I'm taking, there's a surprise, which is mountain goats, and they're on a little patch of snow, and the mother has 2 babies. So we're gonna see if we see them. I don't know. Oh, right here. Could be here. Yeah, there's snow right here. Let's see where they could be. They said they were laying down. So let's see. I don't want to get too close and disturb them. But this is almost 11,000 feet, which is the highest spot on the Beartooth Highway. And it's hard to breathe, to be honest. Colorado, I hiked above 10,000 feet, and you could definitely feel it. So I think this is the ice patch, but I don't see them. But I'll go a little closer. They blend in. So it's a big ice patch. This is definitely in the alpine zone. You can see the lichen and such on the rocks. There's hardly any trees, if any, because we are above tree line. It's a very delicate ecosystem in the alpine zone. So anyway, I'm going to pause this and see if I can locate them. Well, I don't see them, but they said they were pretty much disguised because they're white, of course, and the ice and snow kind of disguises them. So they might be up there. I may have come down a little too far. But they're adept climbers, so to them, this is nothing. Alright, I'm going to pause it again. I can't see them, but I heard a little bleeding from one of the babies. So they have to be close. But I do not see them. And they disguise themselves really well, so they could be right in front of us and we would miss them. I may try to go a little higher and see if we could see it. I'm going to pause this. Didn't see it, but I definitely heard a little bleeding, I don't know how to say it, but this is really the top of the Beartooth Highway. We're at about almost close to 11,000 feet, so this is the highest it gets. You can see we're in the alpine zone, as I said, and you can see there's still snow and glaciers on some of the other mountains surrounding us. So this is one of the largest. It's over 1 million acres of wilderness protection in the Beartooth, and that protects it. It's the highest wilderness status, is the highest protection that the National Forest Service has. So it'll protect all this from development and logging and mining and all sorts of stuff. So, but you can see why this is a very delicate area. And I see people with dogs without leashes, and kids sliding down snow and glaciers, and that's all I know now. People building cairns, and I just wish people would just leave no trace. That's even where I'm standing. I'm trying to be very careful of the lichen and all, because it's very rare at this altitude, and it's a lot of what the animals at this altitude, this is what they eat. So you really want to step lightly and gingerly and really try to make no impact. It's bad enough there's a road that goes through this, and that's a real privilege. Most of the Beartooth is true wilderness. The only way to get to stuff like this is to hike or horseback. But anyway, beautiful, beautiful place. Alright, this is Gardner Lake, and there is a trail that goes down, but it's pretty steep coming up. I'm going to bypass it, but it's a pristine lake. One of 3 on the Beartooth Loop trail. It's just like a 10 or 12 mile loop trail that you can take. But a lot of mosquitoes, holy moly. They're the size of birds. I guess with the lakes, that's where they hatch. We're at a scenic overlook, and you can see the chipmunks are huge here, storing up food for the winter. And you can see the Beartooth Highway and what they had to do to construct it. We're back in Montana from being on Wyoming, but look at this way. It's just amazing. So beautiful.